10-3, area of circles. Area of a circle, take this circle, think of it almost as an orange, and you cut it in half and you've got the little wedges. So we have two wedges. Our radius, remember, is from the center to the edge of the circle. And that goes all the way around, also known as the circumference. So circumference is equal to pi times d. Now if we take this, that would be pi times r because it's half the circle. Then if we take that and we kind of split it apart so we have kind of a rough edge there. And then we do the same there and we put them together kind of like teeth. At least it kind of look like monster teeth or some type of teeth, weird teeth. And notice it looks very similar. It's not exact, but very similar to a parallelogram. So you got your r here, which is kind of your height. And then you have the distance of the rate or of pi. So it's very similar to this. So we get area is equal to pi r squared. So our objective today is to find the area of different circles using area is equal to pi r squared. That's what we need to know, and that one's kind of a helpful one to know for everyday life. So when we find the area of a circle with a radius of 6 inches, we're going to use today pi is equal to 3.14, and you can use calculators today to help you out. So we have the radius, and we always want to check, are they giving us the radius or the diameter? If it's diameter, we have to cut it in half, but here we're given the radius, so we're going to plug it in. We've got pi is equal to 6 squared. I'll want to see that on your assignment. Or 3.14 times 36. 6 times 6 is 36. Multiply those together, we get 113.04 square inches. That's our answer. So this time we have the area of a circle with a diameter of 26 inches. Remember, it's pi times r squared. Are they giving us the radius or the diameter here? It's the diameter, so what would the radius be? 13, because 26 divided by 2 is 13. So we have pi times 13 squared. In other words, we have 3.14. Notice how our equal sign went to the approximately equal to? Because I changed pi, which is an exact answer, or exact number, to 3.14. And 13 squared is 169. Multiply those together, we get 530.66 inches squared. Would you try these two and round them to the nearest tenth? Make sure you ask yourself, are they giving us the radius or the diameter here? Okay, so for number 1, we have 3.14 times 7 squared, or 3.14 times 49, which works out to 153.86 inches squared, but we're rounding to the nearest tenth. So we look at that 8 and look to the right of it. That's a 6, so we round the 8 up, so we get 153.9 inches squared. If you haven't done number 2, go ahead and pause and try number 2. Alright, number 2. Pi times r squared. Again, they're giving us the radius. So we have 3.14 times 16 squared. 16 squared is 256. Multiplied by 3.14, we get 803.84 meters squared. Round that to the nearest hundredths, which is the second 8. Look to the right, that's a 4. That tells us to leave the 8 alone, so we have 803.8 square meters. Next, number 3 and 4. Would you try these two, please? Again, rounding to the nearest tenth. Make sure that you're using the radius, not the diameter. So for number 3, we'll have 3.14 times 4.6 squared, which means we have 3.14 times 21.16, which means we have 66.4424 inches squared. Rounding to the nearest tenths, that would be the first 4 from the left. Looking to the right, that's another 4, so that means we're going to have 66.4 inches squared. If you haven't done number 4, go ahead and pause and try that one. Okay, coming back, we've got our formula. Area is equal to pi times r squared. So that means we need to find the radius since they gave us the diameter here. So we have area is equal to 3.14 times 39 squared. That's going to be a big number. 3.14 times 1,521, which gives us 4,775 and 94 hundredths, rounded to the nearest tenth. The tenths place is where the 9 is at. Look to the right. There's a 4. That tells me to leave the 9 alone. So 4,775 and 9/10 millimeters squared. Would you please try these two problems? Pause the video, come back when you're ready. Number 5. A is equal to pi times r squared. So A is approximately equal to 3.14 times 11 squared, or 3.14 times 121. Multiply 3.14 times 121, we'll get 379.94. Rounding to the nearest tenths, that's the second 9, the first 9 after the decimal point. Look to the right, that's a 4. So we'll leave that 9 the same, so we get 379.9 centimeters squared. Diameter of the Earth, 7,926. So we need to do 7,926 divided by 2, which is 3,963 squared. So we'll get 3.14 times 15,705,369, which gives me 49,314,858 and 66 hundredths, which ends up being, rounded to the nearest tenths, not that it really matters, 49,310,858 and 7/10. Sorry, I had to think about that one. Alright, so here we're given the diameter or the radius, and we want to round to the nearest tenths again. So pause the video, solve these. Number 7, we'll have A is equal to 3.14 times 5 squared. So A is equal to 3.14 times 25, which means that A is equal to 28.5 square meters. Plug them in. We get A is equal to pi times r squared, which means A is equal to 3.14 times 4.5 squared. Change that half to 0.5 because half and 0.5 are the same. So 3.14 times 20.25 means we get 63.585. Rounded to the nearest tenth is 63.6. And that's it for the lesson today. At the end of this, you can look to see what the actual assignment is. If you're in the flipped class, you wait until the next day to do it. Thank you.